Well, it's quite apparent that Stephanie Jenkins must have gotten paid. It's the 15th. So she makes a sub-only video at her time, 4:30 a.m., okay? And she is in the bathroom, just talking as loud as can be. Now, mind you, today's Friday, so this was a school day for these kids. And she is in the bathroom, rambling about, I don't even know what. It made completely no sense. And the whole time, she's sniffling uncontrollably. Okay, let's put this together. Payday, up at 4:30 in the morning, acting kind of manically, and sniffling. I know we've all got that figured out, what was going on. And it made no sense what she was talking about. Absolutely no sense. I can't even begin to sum it up for you because it was all over the place. Let me tell you. It made zero sense. Okay? So then she goes live on FB several hours ago. And it's a 40-minute live. I'm going to be honest with you. I watched maybe the first 15 minutes, and then I just kind of skimmed through the rest of it. I couldn't even stomach to watch it. Okay? The entire 40 minutes, she's washing dishes. How many dishes do you have if it takes you 40 minutes to wash them? She's using the poop rags to wash the dishes. No sponge. Okay? And what appears to be dish soap looked like colored water she was spraying into the sink. You can barely hear her speaking because she has the phone right by the sink, so all you can basically hear is the water running. You can see Drew in the background, just kind of wandering aimlessly in a small circle around his gaming chair, and then I notice he has his headphones on. I don't know what he was doing. A few times I see him standing up, like reaching for the ceiling, and he was acting very strange too. But again, And we can assume this was probably about 11 o'clock in the morning, because she said that she usually doesn't attempt to start cleaning up and making breakfast for her and Drew and for the two toddlers until about 11 o'clock in the morning. So she was going to make some sausage and oatmeal. Ooh-wee. What a meal, huh? So it did appear Drew was probably playing his game. I don't know. I seen a little bit of movement in all the clutter and filth by the bunk beds, which apparently might have been Atlas. And she finds it funny now that she thinks she's just going to keep him off camera to fuel the speculation of where he's been. You know, she claps back and addresses everything else. So what's the problem here? So somebody in the chat happens to ask her about church. Now this completely blew me. She says, yes, she's considered going to church, but no, I can't remember exactly how she said it. But basically it boiled down to, she said the churches in the area aren't the appropriate race. No. She doesn't feel she's the right race. That's what it was. What? You have to be a certain race to go to church? This church, you have to be this race, this church. I don't understand. I've never seen such a thing in my 48 years. A church is welcoming of everyone. You know, a church can be predominantly a certain race, but that doesn't mean they don't welcome another race. It always comes down to race with Stephanie. And then she has to go on about how much she loves African worship music and this and that. I don't get it. But that's why she couldn't go to church, because she doesn't feel like she's the right race for the churches in the area. Interesting. Then people, of course, are going on about the usual, which we all agree on: get a job, fill out some job applications, right? And she tells, what we don't understand is not everybody can work. There's people in the same situation as her, and they don't work. They can't have their kids in daycare. Why? I'm going back to what I always say. What is she so afraid of that these kids are going to say or do? And she picks up Moneymaker Manova early in the live, and she's talking about how she can't put her on the live because you're not supposed to have kids on the live, and she agrees. She doesn't want her on the live. I cannot make sense of that either. You're worried about her showing in a live, but you're showing her in every single video you make. Make that make sense. What's the difference between her face showing in a live, which is going to be replayed as a video, and putting her in a pre-recorded video? What's the difference? I don't understand. And it appears she sets Manova on the counter. Because we hear her start getting fussy in the background. She says, I'm going to get you down. And she turns and reaches. And so for, I would say, a good 10 minutes, she had this baby sitting on the counter as she's distracted washing these dishes and reading the chat. I don't get it. And then another thing that stood out to me is she is complaining about she needs more pans. Because she's tired of washing the same pan over and over again. So she is more concerned about getting pans than she is to saving that money to get housing for her children. Her priorities are so messed up. That's why they're never going to leave that shelter. Now watch, within the next week or two, we're going to see pans surface. We're going to see new pans. And then she goes on this thing about how she could never ask people, she doesn't ask people for help and yada, yada, yada. And her kids, the girls apparently have been spending time at the neighbor's house. And the neighbor was going to make some barbecue chicken and asked Stephanie if the kids could eat over. And Stephanie, her immediate thought was, I don't know. I don't know you that well. I don't know what your kitchen looks like. What? Who is she to even criticize anybody or even think something about somebody? We've all seen the filth that she's living in. But then she decided, she wouldn't want to be judged like that. That people are doing the best they can, so she'll just let them eat the barbecue chicken at the neighbors. And then she goes on to this spiel about people not wanting to eat at like certain small, humble restaurants because they don't feel that it's as clean as it could be, and this and that. And people are doing the best they can, and it's silly not to patronize certain restaurants because you don't feel that it's up to standards or what? I'm telling you, Stephanie, she's out of her mind. She's completely delusional. I swear she has completely lost it. And it scares me for these kids. And I'm trying to figure out the whole time we don't see Atlas. And we always see Atlas running around because he appears to be quite hyper. But we don't see him in this live. We don't see Drew trying to watch the moneymaker. Nothing. It's all very strange. The videos are feeling strange. Something is definitely going on. And, she wants to go back to the thing about people think they're not doing as much as they can. Well, basically, you've told us that, Stephanie. When Drew admitted he didn't even have $50 for an Uber for his son. So you have no money saved up. I'm not understanding. But yeah, that was her live. Again, all over the place. She is completely manic. Oh, and she has to touch on mental health. And, she's not ashamed to admit that she's having some mental health struggles. Then go get help. And apparently, Drew must have not felt the need to DoorDash today because, hey, they're living high on the hog. They got to check today. These people it's getting to the point of being sickening. I don't know. But yeah, that's about all I could gather. It's just a bunch of nonsense. Do you think they're ever going to leave this shelter? Because I don't think so. Let me know your thoughts.